Just pull up a chair. Now.
Oh, not ladies first, okay.
No. I was going to. Go ahead.
All right, she's reckless and funny. That tenacity, that sense of adventure.
Oh wait, did you wear gloves with Mary Poppins? Didn't she have
and it
gloves?
was tough. It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. I took them off whenever I could.
Really? Was it tough?
It was really tough.
Was it really tough for
It
you
was
on
really
Mary
tough for
Poppins?
me. It was really hard. Really hard. What is my couple name with my husband? Gemily, Blazinski, or Crunt?
Crunt's funny.
Yeah, Crunt's it.
Yeah.
Crunt.
Well, this one doesn't use deodorant, so you can imagine what that.
Wow!
Kidding.
That's the headline from all
Arms
this.
down.
For that.
She is one of the
Most sweet
best
smelling
sweet smelling human beings I have.
Goat skill you could give a masterclass on. Okay. Here we go.
Working out.
Don't be gross.
I was just going to be gross.
Yeah, don't.
I was
Don't.
just going to be gross. Horizontal hula.
Career ender.
Go on.
Good night. Horizontal hula.
Oh my God. My real one, cheat meals.
That's not a skill.
It
That's
is a
you
skill.
just
Have you not
It
seen
is.
how
It is.
I
Chowing down on
take my
someone
time and I
else's skill.
ceremoniously?
Oh, he didn't say dieting. He said cheat
Thank
meals.
you very much.
Thank
See?
you for
He
engaging in
cares.
this ridiculous skill of his. Okay.
I am disgusted.
Are you? You're entitled to that.
My go-to goat cheat meal. Let's do that.
Is French toast.
Don't say it like that.
Why?
He knows I hate French toast.
Good news is everything's on DJ today. Every shot, every bit of French toast, every jungle mandarita, it's all on him for the whole day. Right?
What is Emily Blunt's
Oh, for God's sake.
herpes medicine?
No. Accent.
Oh.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous.
You did have two stunt
That
doubles
was crazy.
compared to you had one stunt.
Yeah, because she didn't have to do as much.
Why would you bring that up?
Hi everyone, I'm Dwayne Johnson.
Hey everybody, I am unfortunately Emily Blunt.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna have to go. Bye.
We'll continue to play the game.
We're
Okay,
gonna
see you later.
continue to play the game. See you around. And the extras were like, when's Dwayne Johnson getting here? And I was like, he's here. You know, it was amazing.
There's that tall dude that kind of looks like him.
Yeah, it's like not many people have this physique, guys, you know?
Because everyone's gonna want to know.
I am wearing, oh come on, no, I
ahead.
don't like this game. You're on a slope and I look
Go ahead.
minute.
She's my child.
Go ahead.
You sound like
That's what I'm talking about. Do you have nicknames for each other?
Yes.
Don't.
No.
I do a nice one.
Oily.
What?
Emily Blunt doing right now?
Unfortunately, talking to Dwayne Johnson.
You make it easy. You're obsessed with catching fish. I'm like, I'm actually obsessed with just peace.
Yeah, but have they seen you
Right.
how you catch fish? With his bare
By now.
hands. He's kind of like
I dive in.
he's kind of like a grizzly bear. He just like scoops them out. Benching is when you're on your back and you lift it, right? Is that benching?
Yes.
So
I
you
don't
can
know what that
bench.
was, what you just did, but her, because with her British sense of Uma,
No.
as she likes to say.
No, I don't.
British
I've never
sense
said
of
it.
Uma.
I've never said it.
Uma.
It gets. Ow. Okay.
Because you're
Well,
not
that's
on
the
social
only thing-
media.
That's the only thing that's on your phone.
Because
Is
you're not
selfies.
cool. Okay.
Well. Well, I have Mystique. The other thing you realize is that you have to adopt this kind of persona of like, this is just my life, and this is very normal for me, you know, and it's not, and it never is.
Yeah.
And before I get out to do a red carpet, I'm like that every time. I always have to have a drink, a bit of Dutch courage, and then we do it. But
on you.
oh, that was good.
Oh, that was bad.
that.
Chat, I never heard that. Is she drinking a drink that's Dutch? Is that why she said a little Dutch courage? I never heard that. I've definitely heard of, liquid courage. She said Dutch courage. Emily Blunt is great, chat. She really is. I know y'all seen the story where her husband is telling the story of the guy in the airport that's like, you got Emily Blunt? And then he stamps his passport like real aggressive, like almost disappointed, like, this guy got lucky. That story really is worth hearing because he really did get lucky. I'm not talking about his looks. That's none of my business. I don't know if he's a top 10 or top 3 anything. I'm just saying he got lucky in the sense of, yeah, she's a knockout, but she's got that great personality. Like, look at this. It's like hanging out with your bestie. Like, these two are just having fun. Chat, I know that. See, this is the thing about even just reaction videos. What I'm telling you is like no-brainer. It's like, of course, they're having fun. Okay, cool. That means nothing to you. That doesn't move you in the slightest bit. What you don't understand, though, is so many beautiful women and actresses that you would even love to work around, yet alone work with. When you get around them, you ever see Mariah Carey move around? Mariah Carey is a queen in her world, and she should be treated like one and move as such. But a lot of these actresses, that's how it is. You know, they got a makeup team around them, they got a bestie around them, they got a management around them, they got a PR, they got this, they got that, they gotta make sure they look good. They got someone that's picking their fits and helping them with the shoes they're wearing, with the outfit. There's so much going on, chat, that, believe it or not, sometimes they barely speak to you. Just because they work with you doesn't mean... I'm not saying that's even a knock. But she seems like it's refreshing to have to go to work. Like, you're going to work with Emily Blunt, it's going to be a good day.
First joke, you've done well.
Really?
Okay,
Wow.
yeah,
You should go from Spielberg, because she knows him, to now...
My friend Steven Spielberg.
Yes. Mario.
I understand a lot of Spanish and I don't speak it very well. Stop, it's not happening.
Out into laughter in the middle of a take.
I have no self-control. I feel that you are humorless.
That's
I can watch Denzel do anything as well. Dwayne Johnson
That's it.
as well is my top actor.
95% of Emily's acting was CGI.
I'll show
So
you.
you are no longer on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter too. Just
No one cares about your Twitter account.
no one gives a
No one likes Emily Blunt.
Does Emily Blunt dance?
Not really, not very well.
No?
Nope.
Poll?
Hey,
Okay. What? No, I'm just saying, when I come on to set,
you never know your lines.
do I have words?
Yeah.
Am I
he's
saying
got
words?
Pages, he's like, what am I saying?
Some egg in it, some oatmeal,
And just a hot dog swallowed whole.
and a hot dog swallowed whole.
He just loves sausages. He
Okay,
loves them.
wow, again.
Yeah, what else do you
Is that right?
Yeah, what else?
I'm thankful for this family.
Chat.
Thankful for grandmas. Chris,
See, this is why this will always be my favorite thing, is getting the behind-the-scenes information. Chat, tell me that didn't catch you off guard? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who we look at as one of the more disciplined actors in the industry, doesn't know his lines sometimes. Like, when they told me that about Johnny Depp, I was like, and by the way, I'm big on Johnny Depp. So even though I'm a supporter of Johnny Depp, when they said that to me, I kind of brushed it off. Like, okay, it's Johnny Depp. Just be happy he showed up. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I would absolutely not have guessed that he's just sloppy, forgetting lines. They said that Johnny Depp on Pirates of the Caribbean would have an earpiece in, someone feeding his lines. But that's probably because, especially when it came out that he was a drinker, that's kind of understandable. You have one shot, you have two shot. You're playing a character that's supposedly always drunk. By the fourth or fifth shot, I could see you forgetting a few lines, especially if it's a long day. But anyways, I'm surprised. The Rock forgets his lines.
Every now and then, an actor wakes up and decides to act. Not self-promote, not pose, not stand in front of an explosion in slow motion, but actually perform. It's rare, like watching a golden retriever eat your homework. But when it happens, it's glorious. Because for a brief, shining moment, the cinematic universe forgets that these people have been phoning it in for the last decade, and we get to witness something miraculous. Competence. Meh. More like just doing your job that you get paid millions of dollars for. This isn't about the Meryl Streeps or Daniel Day-Lewises of the world. This is about the ones who built their careers on flexing, staring attractively into the distance, mumbling, or just generally existing in front of a camera until the credits roll. All of them have that one role, that weirdly good performance that makes you sit up and go, wait, are they actually acting right now? Sometimes it's a matter of the right director. Sometimes the script is too good to fumble. And sometimes it's purely by accident, like lightning striking a muscle-bound tree. But whatever it is, it's worth studying. Because these are the moments where the gods of mediocrity touched the divine and forgot for one fleeting film that they didn't have range. Before he became the world's highest-paid motivational speaker, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually gave us a taste of a version of him that wasn't allergic
Motivational
to
speaker?
risk or
What are you
self-awareness.
talking about?
The rundown was that miracle. This was 2003, pre-franchise uniform, back when The Rock was still figuring out how to act without arching his eyebrow every 5 minutes. And to everyone's shock, he was kind of good. He plays Beck, a bounty hunter with a code, the kind of guy who could beat you half to death but still apologize afterward. This is your typical retired crafty veteran gets called back for one last ride kind of story. And what do you know? The Rock is actually acting like a human being instead of a meme in progress. There's this charm in the rundown that vanished somewhere between Fast Five and his third cheat day. It's like watching little Timmy do a cartwheel for the first time, not knowing he'll do it over and over again. And now he's 35 and can't get a job. He's still physically ridiculous, but he's not yet the self-parody he'd later become. He gets to be frustrated, awkward, even a little scared, emotions that don't typically survive under contractual obligations that count the amount of punches someone can land on you. It's an adventure movie that lets him take those punches, and in doing so, you can almost see a career that could have gone another way. A version of The Rock that embraced being the ex-wrestler who can act, not the actor pretending to be an ex-wrestler who can't. The rundown showed that he had timing, humility, and some sense of balance between physicality and personality. And then, of course, Hollywood saw that and said, cool, now do the same thing forever, but with worse scripts and tighter shirts. Fast forward 13 years, and The Rock has become the cinematic equivalent of protein powder, everywhere, vaguely effective, and impossible to digest in large doses without shitting your pants. But Central Intelligence gets him right again, mainly because it lets him be weird, which he probably is at that level of wealth. He plays Bob Stone, a high school outcast turned CIA operative with the body of a tank, and the emotional vulnerability of a golden retriever. This was the rare moment where The Rock wasn't trying to be cool. He was trying to be funny. And it worked because the movie understood the joke. The Rock is built like a demigod, but acts like a Disney Channel protagonist who's just happy to be here. And then you have Kevin Hart, who, for once, isn't sprinting around the screen like a caffeine overdose personified. This was when you still thought he just preferred to be funny instead of only being capable of doing that. The chemistry between them works because they swap archetypes. The Rock plays the insecure goofball while Hart plays the straight man, and that inversion makes the whole movie click, at least to me. There's something genuinely sweet about watching The Rock overcommit to this delusional optimism, all while Kevin Hart's character keeps looking at him like, how is this my life right now? For maybe the first and last time, both of them remembered that comedy is about rhythm, not volume. Central Intelligence stands out in both their filmographies because they actually listen to each other. Like, they're...
Why do we browse like this? Hunching,
Check.
clicking, searching. What if...
They're
Check.
acting...
There's two types of movies. Well, there's thousands of different types. Even above, even on top of genres. But I got a question for y'all. Hit in the, right in the comment section. There's a type of movie where, of course, you're watching it, you're enjoying it, and now it's got you hooked, and of course, it's leading up to something. That's why we have the end, an end. But there's another type of movie where the entire movie is just literally about one scene. Like, Ice Cube's movie Fist Fight, where the entire movie he's just waiting to get in a fight. At the end of the day, he's going to fight this person. We are informed about that from the very beginning. We're informed about that from the title, and we're all waiting for this fight. What's another movie that you really enjoyed? But again, try to understand the difference. I get it. Yeah, you watch a movie, and of course, you're waiting for the end. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying an unexpected end. I'm saying a predictable end. Well, not predictable, but we're in on the joke. What I'm saying is, what's a movie that you watched that you thought was good? Because I feel like when it comes to the type of movie where we're all waiting for one specific thing, a fight. It's not predictable. We don't know if they're going to fight. We don't know if they're not. maybe if you watched the movie, you felt it was predictable. But the point that I'm making is, what's one movie that you watched that you knew we were all waiting for one thing, and it was actually good? I'm just spitballing here. I just came to my mind, and I thought, are there any good movies where we all were waiting for one thing? Anyways, comment section.
Together instead of at the camera. The Rock gets to show off vulnerability without sacrificing the charisma, and Kevin Hart gets to be subtle for once in his career. It's funny, it's self-aware, and it proves that maybe, just maybe, these two could have been something special if they hadn't immediately cashed that chemistry in for 5 more buddy action reboots and a jungle full of green screen. Then comes the upside. The one time Kevin Hart looked at a dramatic role and said, "Yeah, I can do that." And to everyone's surprise, he actually could. Based on a true story, the movie casts Hart opposite Bryan Cranston as an ex-con who becomes caretaker to a wealthy quadriplegic man. Sounds like Oscar bait, right? But here's the twist. Kevin Hart doesn't ruin it with his comedy that we left behind in 2009. In fact, he's phenomenal.
Wow.
There's an ease to his performance that you never get in his comedies. His voice softens, his timing slows down. You can actually feel what he's saying instead of bracing yourself for the next punchline. What's shocking is how naturally he fits into dramatic pacing. You keep waiting for him to slip into that lil man, big energy shtick, but he never does. He just lets the story breathe. There's a scene near the midpoint where he's talking to Cranston's character about purpose. And for a moment, you completely forget you're watching Kevin Hart. It's that rare glimpse of depth you always hoped he had buried somewhere under all that cardio. You see, now I don't feel bad for making all these videos on them because I've seen what they're capable of. The upside doesn't reinvent him, but it does expose something honest, a kind of emotional discipline he rarely gets credit for. Of course, that lasted about 1 movie before he went back to screaming at Dwayne Johnson for 2 hours because he realized the movies get 9 figures anyway. But hey, for one brief shining moment, Kevin Hart had range. Jack Black in Bernie is one of those rare casting miracles where everything that usually makes an actor unbearable suddenly becomes the exact ingredient that makes the role work. You can feel Linklater understood Jack's natural excess, the need to charm, the inability to be still, the way he treats dialogue like a trampoline, and weaponized it. Bernie Tiede is a man so sweet and performatively kind that it borders on eerie. And Jack plays into that paradox with this eerie gentleness that feels like he's trapped between sincerity and showmanship. He sings hymns, he comforts widows, he plans funerals like Broadway productions, but there's always something twitching underneath. A guilt, a need to be adored, the shadow of someone who can't stop performing even when no one's watching. It's almost chilling how his natural comedic rhythms make Bernie's people-pleasing believable. He's not playing serious, he's just channeling his comedy into control, like a clown who's suddenly afraid of laughter and realizes some people find him scary. And you can see the flicker of exhaustion in his face, that tight smile that says, "I need this attention to survive." That's acting. That's real range. And then you've got King Kong, where he morphs into pure selfish ambition. Carl Denham is this manic old Hollywood showman who sees the world as an opportunity to make content, basically an influencer before ring lights, and Jack Black embodies that desperation with an intensity that's at times uncomfortable to watch. He plays it straight, but there's always this manic gleam in his eyes that feels like it could flip into a punchline at any moment. When he's not shouting about the 8th wonder of the world, he's quietly watching the chaos he caused, calculating how to turn tragedy into spectacle. It's the most self-aware he's ever been as a performer because you can see him wrestling with his own persona. In that moment, Jack Black the comedian disappears, and what's left is a man who will risk everything for the sake of being remembered. It's haunting, almost tragic, and maybe the closest he's ever come to playing himself without realizing it. I really had to scratch my head to find something nice to say about Gal's performances. I really did. I guess by process of elimination, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League, where you're too distracted to see her deadpan delivery because you hear yodeling every time she's on screen. Gal Gadot's performance in Zack Snyder's Justice League is the definition of being carried by tone and cinematography. But
Nice. JBL, is that the first headphones to have a screen?
to her credit, she gets Snyder's tone better than anyone else in the movie. She's not playing a person. She's playing a cymbal, and the movie treats her like a moving fresco. Every gesture is deliberate, every glance designed for a slow-motion shot, of which there are many in this terrible movie, rather than a feeling. I probably upset some Snyder cultists by saying it's a bad movie, but that's alright. We'll all have to wait a few months for their 3-hour response video to come out. Anyways, this look actually works for her. Gatto's limited emotional range turns into this unshakable calm that feels almost mythic, like she's half aware she's too beautiful to emote. When she moves, it's graceful in that old-school silent era sense. She's a projection of an idea. The divine warrior who doesn't need to convince you she's powerful because the camera believes it. The delivery is still stiff, the line readings are flatter than the Amazonian plains, but in Snyder's world of slow-motion gods, that stiffness becomes part of the aesthetic. It's all about looking eternal, and that's exactly what Gal Gadot can do. Megan Fox in Till Death feels like she finally understood the kind of movie she belongs in, one that doesn't ask her to be human, but to react like someone desperately trying to appear human. And that's a compliment. Well, not really. In this movie, her flatness works well. The detached, slightly glazed performance that made her unbearable in Transformers, unless you weren't watching for her acting chops, becomes a kind of eerie survival mechanism. She plays a woman handcuffed to her dead husband in a cabin, forced to outthink 2 intruders while dragging a corpse around the snow, and she actually sells it. The stillness that used to feel like laziness now feels like composure. She doesn't overact the fear or try to cry her way into empathy, she just stays alive. And you believe she could. The camera lingers on her face. And for once, her beauty feels like a burden. She's bruised, exhausted, stripped of glamour, and you can tell she's finally working with the genre instead of against it. It's not range in the traditional sense, but it's awareness. She knows how she's perceived and uses that to her advantage, if you know what I'm saying. Watching Till Death almost feels like watching a career self-correct. She probably realized she'll never win an Oscar unless it's from Brazzers, so she might as well make being trapped in a snowstorm look iconic. If Till Death was Megan Fox learning how to survive, Jennifer's Body was her learning how to perform. It's wild that a movie once written off as a disaster is now regarded as a cult masterpiece. Because Fox was doing the assignment years before people realized what the assignment was. She plays Jennifer Check like a walking manifestation of the male gaze, self-aware, weaponized, and a little tragic underneath the smirk. The genius is in how she doesn't overplay the monster. She doesn't try to humanize the demon or wink at the camera, she just is. Her line delivery feels like it's been filtered through 6 layers of confidence and exhaustion, as if she's sick of being adored but still addicted to it. It's also one of the few roles where Fox gets to be funny on her own terms, not just eye candy for someone else's punchlines. She managed to make possession feel like empowerment and horror feel like heartbreak. Watching Jennifer's Body now feels like a retroactive apology from everyone who didn't take her seriously, because for once, she got to play the caricature and control it at the same time. Before Mark Wahlberg became the patron saint of Boston Gym Bros, in the face of that one guy who definitely calls it the industry he actually acted, Three Kings might be the only film where he's not playing himself with varying levels of volume. As Troy Barlow, Wahlberg captures something he rarely has since: innocence. He's not the loudest guy in the room or the one cracking tough guy one-liners. He's just a kid who thought the Gulf War would be exciting and realizes it's all senseless chaos. His performance is jittery, but genuine. The kind of emotional palate he later buried under years of macho self-parody. There's a scene where he's captured and tortured, and instead of the stoic silence most action stars default to, he's panicked, pleading, damn terrified. It's disarming to watch because Wahlberg, the guy who'd later beat up CGI aliens and robots with nonchalance, looks completely breakable. You almost wish this version of him stuck around longer. But, like all tragic cases of self-awareness gone wrong, Three Kings was the exception that proved the rule. Once he realized audiences preferred the swagger and less clothing on his upper body, he traded complexity for confidence. And honestly, we lost something. The actor disappeared, but the meme was born. The fighter feels like the last time Mark Wahlberg remembered what acting actually is. As Mickey Ward, he dials it all the way down and becomes something he rarely is: vulnerable. He's not trying to prove he's the toughest guy in the room. He's just a guy in the room trying to survive the people around him and make an honest career in boxing. Christian Bale may have won the Oscar for his self-destructive brother, Dickie Eklund, but Wahlberg holds his own. I think it's to do with the chemistry they've got. The way he looks at Dickie with endearment, seeing his brother fight this addiction his whole life, you can see the inner conflict boiling in his eyes. It's weirdly touching to see him act without ego, like the movie forgot to tell him he was Mark Wahlberg. Every jab looks like it costs him something. By the time he gets his moment in the ring, it's a sigh of relief. He stops playing the American dream and starts embodying the exhaustion that comes with chasing it. Maybe Bale just made him act better by proxy, probably threatened him to step his game up before he gains 30 pounds of muscle and take his gig. All these actors have been memed to death for being one-dimensional, and rightfully so. But when the material lines up perfectly with who they actually are, or at least who we think they are, something almost magical happens. Jack Black's manic warmth becomes soulfulness in Bernie. The Rock's charm finally fits into a role that's supposed to be larger than life. Megan Fox's detachment turns into grit. Even Gal Gadot, goddess of the blank stare, finds a kind of divine stillness in Snyder's slow-motion religion. Range isn't always about transformation, even though you hear me talk about it all day long. Sometimes it's about being unshakably yourself in a movie that finally understands you. And I'll be honest, I don't usually like doing these videos on bad actors. There's nothing fun about sitting through 3 romantic dramas, waiting for a spark that never comes, or trying to convince yourself that pain and gain counts as nuance. But I had to make an exception for this lineup. These aren't actors trying to prove they can do more. These are actors who accidentally stumbled into their one masterpiece and walked away like it was just another paycheck. So maybe that's the real lesson here. It's not that they forgot they don't have range. It's that for one fleeting moment, they didn't need it.
If you're an MSP or an IT service provider, everyone thinks you're
I mean, you were making points. I think you just lost me on that last comment. I don't know what you
money
meant
up
by
in the
that.
air just because you're working.
So it wasn't what? Say that one more
Piece
time.
and walked away like it was, they can do more. These are actors who accidentally stumbled into their one masterpiece and walked away like it was just another paycheck. So maybe that's the real lesson here. It's not that they forgot they don't have range. It's that for one fleeting moment, they didn't need it.
For one fleeting moment, they didn't need it. They didn't forget they had range. For one fleeting moment, they didn't need it. They didn't need it? What are you talking about? You're losing me. Seriously. Alright.
And tickets to the Yankees.
Get out.